This is Canada, a country where differences are embraced, and inequality based on social and biological factors is not a determinant for unfair treatment. It's a country that promises that discrimination and privilege do not occur on the basis of one's sex, race, gender, class, age, and religion. Well, let's burst the bubble and look at real Canada rather than a beautiful fairy tale. Okay, let me hit you with the real facts and give you a picture of today's Canadian prison systems. African Canadians are Canada's fastest growing prison population. There are 70% more Black Canadians in federal prison today than there were about 10 years ago. Inmate populations of Aboriginal people and women has grown by more than 50%. The federal incarceration rate for Blacks is 3 times the representation rate in general society. So it begs the question, how many more times do we need reports and statistics to show that Canada is doing a poor job at adopting the colorblind policy? Is it only the Blacks and other racial minorities that are oppressed and overrepresented in Canadian prisons? Is oppression the only thing that is visible? No. We see examples of privilege as well. Black and Hispanic incarceration rates are 6 to 8 times higher than white offenders. So what is the problem? We see discrimination against racial minorities, but at the same time we see privilege for the white race. All this inequality makes us question the true promise of the country itself. Racial injustice is common, but what is the root cause? Every race and religion carries its own identity, whether it's good or bad. For example, Blacks are considered to be aggressive and related to violent crimes such as rape, murder, and assault. Hispanics are known as a race of drug-related crimes and are involved in drug trafficking. Browns, or more specifically Muslims, are known as terrorists and the agents of chaos. In the midst of all these stereotypes, what we don't see is any prejudice or preconceived notions of whites. Let's move on from the facts and look at a potential practical example. Here we have a Black male walking into a convenience store. As he walks in, the store owner looks at him in a very suspicious and questionable manner and gets alerted. His eyes follow the Black male around the entire store. Now, as he walks up to the cash out, he takes out a gun and threatens to shoot the owner if he doesn't cooperate and hand over all the cash. Someone passing by outside witnesses the incident and calls the police right away. In a matter of a few minutes, the police arrives at the scene and arrest the Black male. Now let's swap out the Black offender with a white male. He walks inside the convenience store and he does not get any weird looks by the owner. He walks around the entire store and does his business. He then walks up to the owner, who greets him with a smile. And all of a sudden, he slams out a gun and threatens to shoot the owner in exchange for the cash. Similarly, the stranger that was walking outside calls the police. Both of the incidents are exactly the same. The only difference is, one scenario has a white offender, whereas the other is a Black criminal. But there is also one more difference. The way both of the criminals are handled by the police and the differences and punishments prescribed to them by the criminal justice system. That is the difference. Blacks are treated more harshly by the police and applied more force to, whereas police are more lenient towards white people, which is just a sense of privilege just for them. Blacks are given longer and harsher punishments as compared to their white counterparts, even though they commit the exact same crime in the exact same manner. Now, after looking at the real picture of the racial disparities in the Canadian prison systems, can we really say that Canada is a diversity-embracing country? Does it truly promote racial equality and colorblindness? Are certain groups more marginalized than others? And lastly, are whites actually the same as any other race?